You know that tight knot you get in your stomach when you even think about your money? Yeah, you are so not alone. It's that feeling of being totally overwhelmed, maybe not even knowing where your money is really going. Well, today's explainer is all about how we can untangle that exact knot and give you a clear, simple path to taking back control. Look, that feeling, it is incredibly common. But here's the thing, it does not have to be your reality. That anxiety, that feeling of being stuck, that's often the single biggest hurdle to actually getting ahead. But the good news is, there's a structured way to go from all that stress to a genuine feeling of empowerment.
Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to walk through a four-part journey together. First, we'll dig into what the financial knot really is. Then, we'll build your personalized toolkit. After that, it's all about building consistent habits. And we'll wrap up with a really powerful mindset I call planting your favorite seeds. It's a clear roadmap to get you from A to B.
All right, so first things first, let's talk about why personal finance can feel so, uncomfortable. I mean, why do so many of us literally avoid looking at our own bank accounts? What is going on there psychologically?
This right here, this quote just hits the nail on the head. See, the problem usually isn't the math, it's our mindset. We treat our budget like some kind of extreme, miserable diet. And the second we slip up, by that one coffee we shouldn't have, we're just flooded with guilt. And that shame just makes us want to give up and avoid the whole thing.
And this is exactly what that vicious cycle looks like. We start by setting a totally unrealistic goal, like, say, trying to slash a perfectly reasonable $600 grocery budget down to $50. I mean, come on, that's not a plan. That's just a punishment. So, of course, we fail, we feel that guilt, and then we just avoid our finances altogether, which keeps us stuck right where we started.
And you know, this cycle of avoidance, it hits everybody differently. Because let's be real, our financial lives are not one size fits all. A busy family trying to juggle everything needs a tool that lets them work together. A freelancer with money coming in at totally unpredictable times, they need flexibility, not a rigid monthly plan. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you need crystal clear clarity to break that cycle. The tools have to fit the life you're actually living.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. We see the pain points. Now for the good part. Let's start building the solution. This section is all about crafting a toolkit that turns those struggles into practical, personalized strategies that actually, work.
And this is where it gets really powerful, because it's all about personalization. If you've got a steady 9 to 5, a classic monthly budget template is fantastic for that big picture view. But if you're a freelancer, man, a weekly planner is a game changer. It lets you be agile and pivot on the fly. And for a family, a shared budget sheet creates teamwork, not blame.
Now let's talk about debt, because the emotional weight there is just massive. As you can see, there are two main paths. The snowball method is all about psychology. You knock out your smallest debts first for those quick, motivating wins. The avalanche method, that's pure math. You target the highest interest debt to save the most money. The best one for you totally depends on what gets you fired up, quick wins or maximum savings.
Okay, but this is a big one. So many people skip this step. You have to measure your progress. Your net worth, basically what you own minus what you owe, is your financial GPS. Without it, you could be working super hard but have no clue if you're actually getting closer to your destination or just driving around in circles.
You know, we all have those big goals, right? Buying a house, retiring someday. So why do so many of them just fizzle out? Well, there are a couple of major culprits. First, no timelines. Second, no review system. A goal without a deadline and regular check-ins isn't a plan. It's just a wish floating out there. And of course, life happens, so your system has to be able to adapt.
This is a really sobering reality. Most families are just one single emergency away from going into debt. And we're not talking about a surprise sale at your favorite store. We mean a job loss, a medical crisis, the furnace dying in the middle of winter. This is exactly why building that financial safety net isn't just a nice idea, it's absolutely critical.
All right, so we've got the toolkit. Awesome. But here's the deal. A shiny new hammer is useless if it just sits in the toolbox, right? This section is where the rubber meets the road. It's all about actually using these tools by turning them into consistent, easy habits.
So how do we do it? It all comes down to one simple, powerful habit, the 10-minute habit. Just a quick 10-minute budget review every Sunday. Seriously, that's it. It's not a chore. It's like a little weekly financial huddle with yourself. You see what you spent, check how you're tracking, and make a plan for the week ahead. This one tiny habit changes budgeting from something you dread into a tool that makes you feel proactive and in control.
And for building that emergency fund, look, we're not trying to boil the ocean here. We're going to do it in 3 manageable steps. You start small, maybe just auto-saving $10 a week to hit that first $1,000 goal. Then you build that up to a 3-month buffer. And finally, you aim for that 6-month fund that gives you true peace of mind. Every step builds on the last one.
And that, right there, is the real magic. It's the habit loop in action. Those small, consistent actions start to build momentum, and that momentum is what finally replaces that feeling of anxiety with a powerful, incredible feeling of being in control of your own life.
Okay, for this final section, we're going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to move beyond just the numbers on a spreadsheet and talk about something bigger. We're going to connect these simple actions to a deep personal growth mindset. It's a framework I love called Favor Seeds. The idea is simple, but so powerful. Every small, disciplined financial action you take is like planting a tiny seed that's going to grow into a much bigger favor or opportunity for you down the road.
So let's quickly break down favor. F is for faith, not blind faith, but trust in the process and in your own ability to see it through. A is for action, just taking that one small first step to break out of that frozen feeling. V is for vibration, making your goals visible, writing them down, making them feel real. O is for the opportunities that open up when you're in control. And R is for results. You've got to celebrate those small wins to keep the fire going.
And seeds is the foundation for all that growth. S is for steps, because you don't climb a mountain in one leap, right? You break it down. E is for energy. You have to bring positive energy to this by celebrating milestones. And D is for discipline. This is the big one. The confidence you build here will ripple out into every single area of your life. I promise.
And what's so cool is this idea of compounding discipline. We all get compound interest, right? Well, your discipline compounds in the exact same way. Every small, consistent action builds on the last one, growing your confidence exponentially until you start seeing those real, tangible results.
Because at the end of the day, and this is so important, this whole thing is about so much more than money. The real goal here is to gain control, to cut the stress, and to build the freedom to live your life intentionally, making choices from a place of clarity and purpose, not panic.
So that's really the big takeaway. Think of these tools as more than just spreadsheets. They're catalysts. They are designed to give you real control, way less stress, and to put you on a faster, clearer path toward whatever financial freedom truly means to you. So I want to leave you with a question, just something to think about. After everything we've talked about, what's the one single part of your money life that you're most excited to bring some clarity to first? Because the real journey starts with that first step you decide to take. It's about building the discipline, the confidence, and the freedom that comes from actively shaping your own future.